How are you guys? Are you having fun? This is the best part for me of the whole
And for
convention.
me.
Yes.
Also, panels are so easy when there's 4 people. You're like, I don't know, Ruth? Good morning.
Are we? With me knows that you can just throw any question to me because I will nerd out and go on.
Awesome!
Well, historically, the way it connects.
This is a different room than last time, right?
Yeah, yes.
Good morning.
Last time, remember, Ruth, last time it was like the hangar, the airplane hangar, and the walk of shame.
And your ass against the window.
No, it's Kim's ass.
My ass on tits.
Sorry.
People get those confused in us all the time. Yeah.
You're the tits and you're the ass.
Because she actually is the tits and I actually am the ass. But when we're flashing her butt, my boobs. Probably because my boobs are so small, I'm not worried you'll see it.
That's right. I've done quite a lot of nudity on film and stuff, and I was surprised that I always get the compliment that, wow, that was so brave. And really, when you have big boobs, you don't get the compliment, that was so brave.
Right. You maybe get different compliments. Also brave, hey? Oh no.
I did nudity once in a play, and my dad came to see the play. And he handled it so well. Afterwards he said, I haven't seen you in your birthday suit since you were 4.
Did you go full Monty?
I had to.
That is, what play was it?
It was called Faust.
Yeah.
And I had a white spotlight on me.
So
unflattering light.
From straight above. So all the shadows were like down here.
And it was weird. It's weird. I felt really clothed in the light, and I just chose to feel really clothed in the light. It was weird. I don't think I'll ever do it again, but I did it once.
Now it's done.
I had a whole period of my grad school, I think it was called my grad school, when I was just naked in anything. I was just, the first time I had to be naked on stage, and I realized that I suddenly became the most comfortable and powerful person in the room because I had nothing to fear. I was like, oh, I have nothing I need to worry about keeping between me and you because it's all gone. Oh, so I was taking my top off and everything. I think they sold all their tickets for everything.
You and I would have gotten along really well as teenagers. We just never would have worn clothes, ever.
Can I just say as well, like, the compliment about being brave, like, I nearly posted it, but I didn't get a chance to ask you first. The picture you sent, or text, of the kind of nudie picture from the past.
Oh yeah!
The beautiful, like, if you got it, flaunt it.
The crossed one, right?
Yeah.
I posted that.
There's two different ones.
Right? I didn't ever post the one with the nipple. But the one that doesn't have anything. Oh yeah. Oh no, naked is as naked does. I was naked a lot.
Yeah, if I looked like you, I would be naked all the time.
But
sorry? What? So sorry. What? I know you paid the most. And you just had the biggest fries.
You're getting the least.
Sorry.
Should we take questions?
No, I'm just talking about you. I've never been naked on stage.
Let's all just get naked.
Had an orgasm on stage in front of my parents.
Nice.
At Vancouver, which is the supernatural convention in Vancouver. So you're welcome.
Rachel, yeah, you were pretty hot, man. You are pretty hot.
I orgasmed a lot in front of people.
I don't believe you.
so you worked on Disney Channel too. Disney After Dark is what we like to call it.
Let's do it. Dark Disney. Yeah. Pocahontas as you've never.
Good morning.
Okay, now I think we should take some questions.
What's your name? Where are you from? What do you want?
Good morning. I'm Kevin.
Hi.
Question. With all these superhero movies coming out, if the before you would do a movie, what would it be called? What will your team be named? And what will your powers be?
Wow. Oh my God, did you hear how dumb we are this morning? That's freaking awesome. There you go.
Rachel's got this one. Rachel's got it.
Just drink my tea.
I was like, I'm still on the question she was asking you. I'm like, how did she say that so fast? And now you're asking me questions. Go, Rachel.
Okay, well, first of all, the movie has to be the Wayward movie because that needs to exist, and we all want more information. Right? And we need to just be a kick butt bunch of misfits, which we are.
Yeah, is it us or characters we would play? Because if it's me, Kim's magic superpower would be like ballistic fields. Right? Just like you're coming at me and I'm like, blah! And then just burst into tears.
And then I would glamorize everyone and make them look fabulous as it was happening.
And I think I'd have my superpower from yesterday. I was asked the question of the superpower, and apparently I want to make everyone happy, like immensely joyful. So I'm just going to walk around like spewing joy.
Yep, you fix their tears.
And roofing their drinks.
What is happening to you this morning?
Who am I?
I haven't seen you in so long. You changed.
This is dark.
It's all just clitoris and roofies. You know what? The clitoris part I mentioned. That part is cool.
What's your superpower?
Oh, I think I just demonstrated it. Just fucking dirty talk. Awesome. Dirty talk and making the men on the circuit really uncomfortable. Thank you. I'm sorry.
Thank you for your lovely, sane, respectful question.
Yes, so we destroyed.
We did not deserve, we did not remotely deserve that lovely question.
But by the way,
Let that be a note to all of you and your questions this morning.
that's right.
This
Should
will
have
happen.
asked what your favorite superhero movie was, but okay. Can you shout it out? I can't see.
Deadpool! Oh yeah, that movie is dope.
That was so.
Crush on Deadpool.
I was at yesterday's panel with Kim and Briana, and I wanted to ask the question again because that was the last question. I didn't really get the answer, which is okay. Doing the Wayward Sisters episode, what was how was it, and what was your favorite scene to shoot in that episode?
It was really fun, and it's hard. I loved all the action that we got to shoot. Most of it was action shots. That was pretty fun. I shot a shotgun that was so loud that literally the paint came off the walls. Literally. They were like, we gotta do it again, too loud. But I also loved shooting the dinner scene at the end, which was the very first scene we shot, and it was one of the only scenes with all of us in it. And I don't know, there's something so special about shooting the last scene first. Yadi wasn't in that scene, I take that back. But it was pretty funny. The girls wouldn't stop eating, which made me laugh. They would not stop eating, and Robin and Probs was just like, we only have so much Chinese food, which was true.
My favorite thing, my very, 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 very favorite thing about it, you probably do not know this. I loved shooting it. I loved playing with it. I wish we could, I think I've said privately, one of the things that I wanted for the show was to be able to include more people I love and work, we've never worked together. We work together here, but how much fun would it be to expand that? So that was so working with people I loved, and then all of the stuff on the boat, the big boat. Well, the big boat was way the fuck out there. It was so far out there, we all had to stay in a little hotel. And it was a little hotel, it was like a little Best Western out, and there were signs that said, don't leave your door open because it's bear season. Welcome to Canada! We're shooting in Canada! And ended up that we had to stay an extra night we weren't planning on, and Briana didn't have a room because she was only supposed to be out there one night. So she stayed in my room and we had a slumber party, and that was my favorite part of shooting.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, I like your persistence as well.
Yeah, I totally forgot because we're so wrapped up in that waxy cake that they brought out.
That was my fault, which they all have learned. Never, ever, ever let Kim start talking when things are on fire. That was yesterday's lesson.
So I was just thinking, as you were talking, especially about like, so there's this shooting and the fighting monsters and stuff, and I don't know about you, but I still get that adrenaline rush thing, and I've always had that kind of little bit of a, I guess people used to call it in my day when I was growing up, a tomboy thing. But now I love that we can let go of the whole gender association thing. I love that feeling of being strong and succeeding and beating the monsters. But I was thinking about when you were saying like the dinner scene versus shooting and all these things, and I was like, you know what? It takes as much, having lived a lot of life now, I'm like, it takes as much or often more strength to make it through those moments of like those family dinners and do that right and just care for each other in the mundane seeming daily existence of life than it does to like punch the bad guy or whatever. And I was just thinking about like that is strength, and I guess we have to start changing that part of us that associates strength with those monster killing moments only, because we're always killing some monster and we're always beating that, and that takes so much more strength. Okay,
Kim and I had actually been talking about this almost the entire weekend, is the stigma of strong female characters are always associated with violence. And I was like, what about the strength it takes to cry in the corner? Or cry on stage in front of people? Or sit with your family at dinner, like that also takes a lot. And so we need to lose the stigma of strong female characters, unless you're going to also associate that to strong male characters, because it's not equal otherwise.
And just also though, not every female character needs to be strong. It's just good to have variation, weak characters, flawed characters, difficult characters that represent all of humanity. That's what we want, right?
I think that we need to do away with the word strength and associated to women, because I think we're more complex than that, you know? I like it. Yeah.
So these are, by the way, like, you know, little glimpse into our green room conversation.
Totally.
Meanwhile, okay, if you really want the full picture, add Mike Borja standing there and Stephen Norton standing there throwing a football back and forth. Now you know what our green, and one tiny sad little muffin that never gets eaten on the table, which I have now started taking pictures of. I am going to start an Instagram called Lonely Muffin. I feel crummy. Because the muffin always gets left, and now I've started eating it about 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
If you could give any character in Supernatural just like this enormous, big, comforting hug, who would you hug?
Oh, I want to hear your answer. If we could hug anybody on Supernatural, who would we hug?
Yeah.
Oh, Lord. Just one person?
That's what I said. I was like, there's so many damaged people that really need hugs.
Sam.
There's 4 of you.
Rowena would hug Sam.
Since there's 4 of you, you can just like, you can all hug somebody.
We need to like divvy it up.
Yeah.
I want to do something else with Jen. And Misha could do with a hug, sorry. I just want to hug them all, sorry. I'm just going to go.
Yeah. Sipping hot water. I guess I would hug Cass. I only say I guess because I think that there are other people I'd like to hug. I just think Cass would be so confused. I think it would be funny.
I'd like to hug Mary. Aww. Like, fuck. Just fuck. Talk about it being hard to be a mom. Dude, I just think she deserves, I was gonna say Dean, actually, because Jody, I think, would most like to hug Dean. She sees underneath all those layers of, you know what, if we're gonna go out, let's go out the right way. And this is just how it is being a hunter, and everything's fine, and she sees under it and is like, you're hurting. God, if I could actually comfort you, I would. But Kim thinks fucking Mary needs a hug.
Is that because you really like Sam and you want to give
It's
her a
also
hug?
because I like to hug
Sam
Sam.
is a good hugger. She is one of the loveliest fucking women I have ever met.
Absolutely.
Man, oh man. Okay.
I also wanted to know what Harry Potter houses you guys believe that you're in, and if you disagree with each other, what houses do you believe each other would be in?
What, is this a hard question?
No, it's a
Rachel Kim question.
yeah,
Okay.
Rachel.
Rachel's gonna answer for me.
I
Take it
answered
away,
this.
girls.
Yeah, I love that. Like, people know. I was asked at my panel as well. I'm Gryffindor. I know I'm
This
Gryffindor.
question.
because
Yeah.
You'd be great.
I know I'm Slytherin, but I would know that, right?
Rowena would be Slytherin, but
I mean, Rowena, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm not actually Rowena.
But I'd say we were all in Gryffindor together, right? I don't know.
I was put in Gryffindor, but I actually feel like I should at least be Griffin Puff.
Yes.
Like, I really like cookies and I'm kind of lazy. But it's just super cool and all, and I love riding and flying around, but whew, looks like a lot of work. I'll just go. I'm moral support and I have a lot of feels. Yay!
What's the puff one? What's it called?
Hufflepuff.
That's what Donna is, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I was told that. That's why it's familiar, but I don't know what I am.
I've gotten Hufflepuff once as like the anomaly when I was tested or when, because I've taken the test. Of
course you have.
This is serious, y'all. This is the
Yeah.
most serious question we've answered.
That's right. I've studied this. I have to answer, honestly. But Kim's awesome because she's like a Han Solo where she's like, no, I'm not really good. But like when it comes to yes. Oh my god. No.
All you fuckers are on your own. All right, fine.
Kim Solo, everyone. Kim Solo.
Leave it to me. I will cross fandoms all over the place.
God, you are so smart. I'm always sitting next to you. Thank you.
I was wondering what was the most embarrassing moment that has happened to you on the set of Supernatural.
I don't get embarrassed.
Oh, I have one. Okay.
There you go.
All right. So it's funny, embarrassing. It's funny because it's true. It's funny. All right. So when you have an explosion, shit goes all over the place. But sometimes you have to like shoot something later in the scene, but then go back and get this. So it's called a hot set. In other words, don't move anything because we need everything to stay where it is. So we have a hot set from shrapnel, and Sam's behind me. Jody has to walk through the thing, and so I walk through, and basically all I'm thinking is don't fuck up the set. Like, get over there, don't fuck up. So I walk over, this is what I think I'm doing, and then I hear laughter. And like, big guy up here doesn't say his line. Big guy, your line. I turn around, and Jared's doing this. He looks at me and goes, well, this is what we're doing, right? Like, it's a hot set! I wasn't supposed to touch anything!
That's awesome.
He was not wrong. I reviewed the tape. He had a very salient point.
My most embarrassing moment also involves the big one. And I was as close as I've ever been to his face, because it's quite far away usually. He was crouched down on the ground, and I've got his arm, and I'm squeezing his arm. I'm squeezing the blood out of his arm. It's a Werther project. So I'm doing this to Jared. And I'm like, Jensen. And I call him Jensen. And his response was, Jensen's got bigger biceps than me. So you gotta hand it to him, like I just betrayed him in his ear hole. And he came back with a quip. And it happens, right? When you're overwhelmed by two tall J's, and you say the wrong one in a moment in a
Well, it wasn't even, you didn't even call him the wrong character name, you called him the wrong human name.
Yes. There's a lot going on in the
I feel you.
There's a lot of feelings. Things are firing, and one of my more fun, embarrassing moments was not on Supernatural set. It was on a film called High. When you're wearing short skirts, sometimes they put they don't know where to put your what's called a lavalier, the little mic attachment battery thing. And so I was wearing tight clothes and short skirts, so they put it up my legs. Which
you say to put it up your flute?
It was basically.
That's where she kept the antenna.
It was tickling me.
It was a sex toy at that point.
That's right. Yeah. So
Morning, everybody.
good morning. So, but I have this paranoia when I'm like talking with friends that someone's listening. So I would turn it off, and then I turn it back on when
you're not in the loo.
You know where this is going.
Yeah.
So I was sitting there talking to a bunch of guy friends who were on the set, and I was like, we're about to shoot. Oh, sorry, I'm just turning myself on.
Quiet ones are the worst.
Nothing can beat that in the history
I
of
often
forever.
think the quietest man on set is the man at the sound receiving desk. Yes. He's a guy, Chris, he never really speaks to anyone. I'm like, he knows everything about all of us.
Yep.
He has heard us poop, pee, talk shit, and fanny about.
And turn ourselves on.
Exactly. So that's truth.